is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Getting on
Off
panel, off topic. With Jake and Tyler.
Episode 178.
All right.
No, you want to leave it in? I'll cut it out.
Whatever.
You cut it out.
You cut it out like Dave Coulier used to do.
I'm Jake. That's Tyler.
I'm Tyler.
This is
I used to watch Out of Control on
this
Nickelodeon.
podcast is out of control.
You're out of control. You're out of order. This whole corner's out of order.
Anyway, this is number one.
Hoorah! Wait, that's a different Pacino.
This is number 178 of Off Panel Off Topic. Of course, you know that. You see it.
You know it.
A lot to talk about today.
Do we?
Not really. It's kind of a lighter episode.
Actually, no, I have some stuff to
We
talk
have.
about.
Oh God.
Tired of your ass.
Ugh.
Tired of your attitude.
You already
Tired
said
of your
ass.
shit. Oh.
You said shit. A minute 19.
I thought you
fucking
didn't care
hack.
about that shit. And we still haven't sang it.
Pretty sure we started.
No, we
saying-
didn't. When?
I don't know. It all blurs together. When you do 178 of these things, man.
When you do 178. How long was that? See if I did
a
it.
minute 36, I think.
What do you think we should shoot for as far as a record for not swearing and not
Take a
singing?
drink every time I say
Why don't you, the audience, comment either on the episode
Oh yeah, you can comment on Spotify. That's where you
or
listen
on
to the show.
YouTube if you
Or on
want.
YouTube.
And say, hey, this is how long I want you guys
Also,
to try and go without singing or swearing.
speaking of YouTube,
We'll do it for charity.
speaking of YouTube, I want to put more videos up. I want to finish putting up all of our penguin clips. I'm just saying, here's an excuse. I'm too lazy to teach Tyler how to do things. So he could, because he's been trying to say like, hey, I'll help. You just got to show me what you want. And
I've
I'm
got
just
nothing but time, bro.
I'm such a control freak about this stuff.
I do not.
So
only
I'm saying
have-
the reason it's been slow is because, as I said in last week's episode, we've been hammering home because we're so close.
I don't have a
to
job
off-pan-
or a significant other. You know how fucking bored I am all the time? I literally
Anyway.
have nothing.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
because my intent is to get this
Happy
out
Thanksgiving.
on Thanksgiving Day, so you
Cool.
have something to listen to when you're going to dinner or lunch or whenever you celebrate.
When
Thanksgiving.
we get to the towards the end of the show, another segment we're gonna have is what's your favorite part of Thanksgiving / what are you thankful for?
Leaving, that's my favorite part.
Let's talk about the food, but okay.
Oh yeah.
My favorite part is telling my family to fuck off. No, how
So
about the
I promise.
food?
I want to make a promise.
I already know what
Hey,
you like doing.
Tyler,
What?
focus. I want to make a promise to get definitely get the rest of those penguin reviews up and start putting up the Dune prophecy episodes
Thanks, man.
up as we can. And you and I will talk off the air about working it all out because we've been full steam ahead on OPOW, man. Because if you are listening to things at release, if you're listening to this, happy Thanksgiving, as we
Happy
said.
Thanksgiving.
Tomorrow, Black Friday, 10 a.m. YouTube.com /
What?
Off Panel Off
I
Wrestling.
didn't even know that.
OPOW Climax. Check it out. And then, if you're listening in the future, I'm glad you got to see a really cool Easter egg at the end of Climax. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to spoil nothing.
Wow.
It's exciting stuff.
Nice.
So once that's
cool.
out,
hey, listen.
taken care of,
Movie studios
we'll
put
focus
out
on
whether or not they have end credit scenes and stuff, so we're not doing no different.
I didn't tell you what's at the end.
Hey, so where's the?
Let's talk about
what's in my mouth because you want.
We got a light week.
Going.
Got a light week. It's a holiday week.
Yeah.
So we figured this is a perfect time to just fuck around. So
Fuck
let's
around.
Oh,
much.
I need to bring up my phone here.
Yeah, we need.
We got a theme
that's
song
What
to
I was
play.
telling you, I don't. You know.
Well, I was vamping so I could
Right.
pull up my phone, man.
That's cool.
Come on.
I was vamping so you could pull out your phone.
Oh, we both can't be vamping.
Can't be vamping. Now I can't stop fucking singing. Now I just
Oh
can't.
shit! I don't even have the Bluetooth
You
connected. I'm
fucking
a fucking
butthole. What do we need to do here? Do we need
start
to
the show over?
hang on? Do I need to press a button here? What do I need to press?
You fucking let me do it.
All right.
No, not my car. Oh, now it's connected to my car. Well, could you imagine?
Comedians in cars with me.
Huh, what's the deal with my ego? Jerry Seinfeld sucks.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I said, hey,
There goes our endorsement deal.
everybody
Porsche.
knows what
There
I'm
goes
talking
the Pop-Tarts deal.
What's in my mouth? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I said, hey,
Yeah.
This is when I forgot the words and/or got bored.
tastes like
The salty.
salty or sweet.
Skibidi-dee-dee-dee-up. The fact that you layered the scatting on top of you say, "What did it taste like?" It's just perfection.
Well, I'm a big fan of Mel Torme.
I'm
The Velvet Fog. You don't know the Velvet Fog? Oh, we gotta listen to
You
this.
acting like you experienced the Velvet Fog before
No.
the show started.
No.
Can we eat some cereal,
Yeah. So
Please.
here is the
like
scoop.
grown men?
Here's the scoop. When this first came out, you've probably seen the cereals with Travis and Jason Kelsey, and they've had like their cereal thing. And look, I'll tell you this right now: if my brother and I are hanging out, give me a second. Hold that
I just
thought.
want to make a
Yes,
point
go ahead.
that we should say the people that don't watch football or sports. It's Travis and Jason Kelsey. They're famous football players.
Actually, if you don't
One
watch
is a former
football,
football
you probably know Travis.
Yes, Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Yes, slash
And that's
fiance?
it.
Aren't
I don't
they?
think they're engaged.
I thought so.
I don't know.
And then Jason is his brother. Ooh, you owe me a Coke. Who used to play for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh,
You owe
not
me
Diet
a-
Coke.
You owe me a bump. What's Diet Coke? That's without so much laxative.
It's a tinier bump.
It's not cut with as much baby laxative.
Diet Coke.
You'd have to shit yourself.
No,
All
it's thick.
So I thought it'd be fun for Thanksgiving week. I always thought when a Kelsey mix is Reese's Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms all in the same box / bowl. And I got to be honest, as a former marijuana user, whenever I hear or say the word bowl, it makes me think of stuff. So here we go with Reese's
This is what happens when
Kelsey's mix.
Hey, I want people to know this is what
I'll
happens.
let you pour your milk in.
This is what happens on the week of when you're doing a podcast and it's a fucking holiday. You just make
do it.
shit up
I
as you
don't know
go.
how much you want.
A lot. I want that drowning.
All right. Well, you're weird.
Oh,
And we're not going to subject you to us eating.
No.
We didn't get big bowls, but they're too much for us to eat.
This is the Kelsey cut.
So, yeah.
We're doing the whole bowl. You're gonna hear it. So yeah, it's Reese's. I think I kind of stepped over that. It's Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast, Reese's Puffs. This is the combination. That's what your taste buds will be saying. This doesn't feel right to do. I'm gonna take a second.
You know.
All right, we're back. I almost did it again.
You're out of your mind.
I think we've said on this show that like if people that didn't know, well, I guess we do it a lot on this show too. The way that we talk to each other, they would not think we were friends.
Well, that's a
And you're like,
lot
were
of
you just
friends-
recording that when
a
I was?
lot of friends are like
Yeah,
that, though.
because we were.
A lot of guy friends are like that. I don't know that women are like, hey, bitch. You know.
No, but
I've heard.
there are times when
women talk to
I'm
each other.
saying we're having an argument and I'm like, dummy, like, but you know,
Well, also, I don't think we're very nice to ourselves.
no, and it's only you that I talk like that.
We're working on it.
because you're a piece of work. Anyway.
You're a piece of shit.
What do we give this? Well, I just had to pick up my phone. I don't know. My wife dug it.
So let's
'Cause
get
she
into the
tried it.
cereal because she tried it before us, and spoiler alert, she thinks it slaps.
She did say it slaps.
Yes, the
If
exact
she-
words.
if
In
she-
fact, she took she ate the first spoonful, and she was like, clearly like this is good.
Yeah.
And like every time, I think that by the third spoonful is when she was like, this slaps. Because every time
If she-
it got progressively better every time she ate a spoonful. You know
If
what
she
I
were
mean?
on the show, she would say,
I'll eat your ass.
Wow. Probably.
and she did
Probably.
eat that cereal's ass. It's so
my-
vulgar.
To be really honest, my issue is lose one of them.
Really? 3 too much for you?
I think there were times when I'm like, oh man, Lucky Charms, hell yeah, and Reese's Puffs, yeah. And then what is this cinnamon shit? And then there was times it was like, oh yeah, Reese's and cinnamon. What is this marshmallow shit? Like, oh yeah, this is fucking marshmallow and cinnamon. What is this Reese's shit? And I could go on and on and on.
Yeah. So I mean,
It's not terrible. In fact, I would eat another bowl of it, really. Probably. It's fucking cereal. It's good. It's cereal.
that's the beauty of the cereal. Everybody tries to tell you cereal is a morning thing. It's an any time of day.
Fuck,
thing.
it's a snack thing.
It's a snack.
I prefer it with milk. I don't like eating
Oh yeah,
out of
you
the box.
you don't just have them like a just,
You can, but I don't.
the best one for that is Fruity Pebbles because you can pour it into a cup.
The
You
only
can just
the
eat it out of
only
like a horse.
kind of cereal I like eating without milk is Cheerios. No shit. Because my
Cheerios
hands,
are
my
pretty
hands don't
tasty.
get sticky from eating it.
True.
Even Honey Nut, bro. You're getting some honey, bro.
Captain Crunch is pretty good with us. Like Crunch Berries is pretty good.
Crunch cuts my mouth up, dude.
Even with milk, it'll fuck your mouth up.
Yeah. Shred it.
I like it
I'll eat your ass.
personally.
I
think it all works. I think you don't think it should work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I look at it this way. These are 3 brands I like.
Sure.
I'll be honest.
You didn't have any moment where you're like,
we had a
something is
discussion where
more-
I would have preferred Trix.
Wow.
I think Trix because one time I got a little freaky.
We're gonna get into a whole thing.
So
here.
like,
check it out.
no, because cinnamon. I think I've mentioned it on the show before. I definitely brought this up. Wait a minute. We haven't had the Kelsey mix, but we had a mix
No.
before.
I don't know. Just say what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, what happened was we had those like little balls, like the little tiny cereals.
Uh-huh.
So it's like it'll be like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Trix and stuff. I mixed that up. Trix and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
Delicious.
Trix and cinnamon fruity and cinnamon. Are you out of your fucking mind?
It sounds silly.
you out of your mind?
It sounds silly.
See, your wife told me, and this made sense to me because when I saw this in the store and I saw the commercial and whatnot, I was like, "That's insane. That's too much. Like, I don't want all 3 of those together." And because of the multicolors and the rainbow and whatnot for Lucky Charms, I kept thinking like fruit flavored, like Fruity Pebbles, you know, like all the colors, right? Trix, things like that. And she was like, well, it's not Trix. And she basically kind of caused me to realize, oh, I was thinking about it wrong. Because Lucky Charms basically is a marshmallow cereal with, you know, kind of tasteless like bits.
Yeah, it's not fruity
Right.
like a Trix.
Right, because that's what I was thinking about, like all the colors and stuff. Because all of the fruity flavored cereals are multicolored. General.
It's just
You
cereal
don't see
has
a
to be
brown.
colorful. Yeah.
You see a brown cereal like Cocoa Pebbles,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
going to be chocolate, right?
yeah.
Or
Chocula.
or Cinnamon Toast Crunch is going to be cinnamony.
Yeah, it's
Is
gonna
that
have
a
that
word?
brown tinge to it.
Yeah, the
and
little
the
dusty,
cinnamon
little
swirl, on it.
dust.
Little dust.
Cinnamon dust. So, so yeah, no, I don't hate it, and I probably wouldn't buy it again because honestly, I would just eat all 3 of these like separately. I mean,
It makes you just want them separately.
I don't see the reason to
Yeah.
put them all together, and except for marketing purposes,
I'm telling you,
and
it's
to
just,
get and to find.
it's just
they somehow found a way to get to get more sugar into kids each serving. So good for them.
well. Here's the thing. To me, it's just runoff from their usual factory stuff, and then
probably
they
right.
just all were like, let's just mix it into a bag and slap some spokespeople on it. And
Well, where do you think they get the little single-use bags? Let's stuff off the floor.
Oh yeah.
Hey, here's a little tiny box for my cereal. Love those little variety
Hey
packs.
man, why don't you do me a favor and eat a bowl of cereal and then take that milk, pour it into a bottle, and then we'll seal it and sell it. That's what that Fruit Loop cereal tasted. Or Fruit Loop milk tasted.
I don't know if Corn Pops is even the right thing because I think it's Kellogg's. But you know what would be great instead of Lucky Charms?
What?
Fucking Corn Pops, dude. Fucking sign me up for that bullshit right there, dude. You know what? Corn
Crack
Pops,
cocaine.
Corn Pops, Captain Crunch, and Count Chocula. Ew, fuck you.
All right, let's move on.
No, let's talk about cereal for a little bit longer because here's the thing: if you have two
What
cereals,
is this? Jake and Tyler's breakfast show.
if you have like a Chex, like a Rice Chex, and like a Trix, right? And you have like you're gonna have
my-
multiple bowls of cereal.
Can we move on?
No,
I want to move on. Let's talk about Dune. Prophecy.
it's fun.
Yeah, because they tune into this show to hear you fucking wax poetic about
One of
your
our
cereal
best fucking
combinations.
segments of the last 5 years has been you and me about to get into blows.
You and me about to fucking throw hands
Me and you about to do a bunch of blow.
together once again. Singing the hits.
No, it was us talking about cereal. I was just saying, if
I
you
don't
have
want to talk about cereal anymore.
one question and then we'll move on. If you have a Rice Chex and a Trix and you're going to do multiple bowls, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about smoking. Which one do you do first?
What?
I think it is imperative that you do the Rice Chex and then the Trix. You don't do the fruity one first and then the whatever last. And here's the other thing you can't do. You cannot do a Cocoa Pebbles and then a Fruity Pebbles in that milk. You are out of your fucking mind if you pull that shit.
What?
Thank you.
So, what was your...
You can do like a Rice Chex and a chocolate or a Rice Chex and a fruity.
Boring!
But you can't do a chocolate
Fuck you!
and then a fucking fruity,
You are nothing but garbage, yeah. Nothing but garbage, guy.
or even worse, fruity and then chocolate. Wait, did I say that? Chocolate and then fruity. Yeah. Chocolate and then fruity.
Finish it! Finish it!
Disgusting. Get out of my house, right?
Hey, will you stop?
Having sex with him.
Trying to.
I'm trying to do every sound I can to just get you to shut up. Anyway, so let's talk about Dune, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Talk about Dune prophecy. Shia Anyway, let's talk about episode 2. Two Wolves. It's the episode title.
Is episode 3 going to be 3 spices?
It is a little
Episode
weird.
4.
And I know that this happens because of just
sisters.
the nature of Brian Herbert and how
Oh, yeah.
horny these books get later.
Oh, Frank, dude. No. See,
No, it started with Frank, but then it got hornier with Brian. I feel like.
No. There was a lot of fucking in the Frank Herbert in the later books. The
Whole lot of fucking.
honored matres return from the scattering, which is what happens after Leto II is killed, and he's the guy who turns into the sandworm.
worm,
Yeah. And what happens is he controls all the spice to the point where nobody has any spice except for what he gives them. And he has like these stockpiles all over the universe, right? And he dies, and of course, uprising, and everybody grabs as much spice as they can. And there's a lot of people, a lot, like millions, upon like maybe billions, that just leave the galaxy and go to a different one. And nobody knows whatever happened to them. And then they return, like, I think the book after God Emperor of Dune takes place another 5,000 years after that.
Well, we gotta talk about the fucking time jumps in this
Did
series,
you,
man. The
did
fact
you
that this
notice-
series is 10,000 years before the first movie is
Did
wild.
you notice at all that he referenced Varian Atreides
Mm-hmm. So, well, I was just
from the
pointing,
books?
but I will say though, this is already the difference I've noticed from what they're doing with this show versus what Villeneuve was doing with his movies, because I mean, there's sex in the Villeneuve movies, but not to this level. Like I feel like we're going to be at the pace where we're going to get at least one sex scene an episode. And I'm not complaining, but I'm just.
Hey, listen, I love fucking.
I like watching attractive people bone. It's fine.
You know, every time I see a sex scene, I'm sorry, I'm being real loud. every time
I know.
see,
I noticed how it's too.
every time I see a sex scene now, I can't help but thinking about the intimacy coach
Mm-hmm.
because they have those now, and or they've had them for a while, I think. But I'm really because like I always think like I don't care how good of an actor I am. Like if I'm like with an actress and they're beautiful and they're grinding on
You're
me,
clearly having a sex scene.
I think I might get a chub. You know what I mean? Like
I think that happens a lot. Well, they wear like dick
hopefully
socks.
they
a lot of times
a
they're
lot
like-
of times they wear like pasties.
Well, I mean, they wear like socks on their dicks, so like it's all dry humping. It's not obviously it's not penetration. We're not
Well,
doing porn.
I don't know
But
that it's the same for
point is
every
this.
single one.
Point
guy.
is this. I will say this. Again, being in this world and again, I knowing that this is a horny world, the Dune world.
Mhm.
I was like, oh shit.
So
Like, this sex scene was more in your face than the last one because the last one was clearly like this like romantic like star-crossed lovers. We're never gonna see each other again, and this one is just fucking. And I'm sitting there watching it, and then because it's such a hard cut to this woman just getting railed, and I'm like, holy shit.
So clearly,
All right.
the Carinos like have this whole planet, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's funny a little bit that like the prince is like, oh, where's the prince gonna be? I'll be in my fucking garden. Do you mean like your garden, but you're like, it's my fucking garden? I'm like, no. That's the garden where I go to fuck. It's an entire fucking acreage. And in the center is this big giant plant that's cut in the middle. And I just fuck in there, dude.
So we're dealing with the effects of.
We did see a Hayliner. So we did see one of the giant ships. So clearly there is a spacing guild at this time.
Well, and so we're dealing with the effects of the kid being killed. So we're dealing with his father being upset and
I still don't know what Desmond Hart.
Desmond Hart. I'm interested. I think we're gonna learn more as the season develops.
Yeah.
But I loved so much how there's this turn in this episode where it goes from I'm horrified by this person to this person's a weapon and he is my instrument and he is saying he wants to be my instrument of destruction. And it's kind of it's one of those things that's like when we talk about with the penguin where it's like that's that bubbling under the surface of like I shouldn't be like, oh, this is interesting and excited and intrigued because it's fucked up. He killed a kid. He killed a witch. He killed a Bene Gesserit like somehow across the galaxy and like it's fucked up. But you're also like, this actor is the guy who plays Desmond is so charismatic where I'm like, God, he just kind of takes over every scene he's in. He's so good. And like the scene with Valia is so good. I love it so much. What did you think of Desmond Hart?
Well, see, okay, so I have no idea what is behind him or what power or what I have no idea. I didn't read any of the books that they're referencing, which take place quite a bit after the Legends trilogy, which I've spoke of.
Legends.
This is clearly afterwards. Like 100. They reference that one of their family was on Carino, so they could finish. I don't know how much they're kind of blending. You know how like the MCU, they don't have exactly replicas of comic book stories, but they reference a lot of parts of it. I don't know if they're trying to because Carino or Corinne, the planet was never like bombed into like back into the Stone Age. Earth was. Our planet was. And they talked about, so they could come in and finish them with the pulse atomics. I don't know. I can't remember the end of the Battle of Corinne, so I don't know. But so they do reference that, which is kind of interesting. The agony, the Rossack poison, all that stuff. That's very interesting to me. Again,
that scene was cool.
one of the things that I really like about the Dune universe is, yes, there's some mysticism to it, and yes, there's obviously science fiction to it. But part of the reason why I like it so much, and I know you're like, what, is that under the surface of all these fantastical things that these human beings can do is the fact that they've basically evolved themselves to the highest point of human evolution. You know? The Bene Gesserit are not witches. They're not sorceresses. They just have evolved their voices to a point where they can make people do what they want. Right? The Sook doctors have evolved medicine to the point where they can tell what's wrong with you by touching you, right?
Well, I still think there's a heavy hand of some fantasy.
Of course, there's fiction. Like I said, there's still it's still science fiction, but underneath
the Golden Path stuff.
Underneath it all, is humanity.
Yeah. Well, she says in this episode
when he talks about, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say she says in this episode that there's that conversation where they're saying that I can't remember her name, but she was saying human life is sacred. That's why a sacrifice is so important, or something to that effect. And it's funny to me because even in this series, after all this stuff with thinking machines and all these things and the Bene Gesserit, it all still boils down, and what makes Dune such a relatable story or such an interesting story for so long is it all comes from a very common human place of like, of course, human life is fragile and sacred because unlike other living creatures, as far as we know, we're the only ones that understand our mortality, you know?
In the Dune universe, there aren't aliens.
No, that's the thing. All these families are humans.
Right. And that's I guess maybe that's kind of what I'm talking about.
And I think that's
now,
and just like I keep talking.
No, you're okay. The Ixians, because we're going to be talking over each other. The Ixians, and what the fuck are they called? In the books are probably the most alien of the creatures.
But what I think decide to cough when I'm taking.
I think that's really what it means is that there are no aliens, so it's all humanity and stuff like that. But I just want so when we get to the Villeneuve Dune, what's going on is that there's the Landsrod, which is in the prophecy universe also. But basically, what happens is every couple of decades, one of the houses is charged with Arrakis. They go and they oversee Arrakis. They make a shitload of money doing it. It's a favorite. It's a favor of the emperor, and then they get done, and then they give it to somebody else. It's always just. It's kind of like presidential terms almost. You know.
Yeah.
And that's how it's been for a long time. Now, at the time of Dune, the Harkonnens have had it for a long time. The Atreides have gotten to a point now where the Emperor suspects, and you know all this stuff, I'm not telling anybody anything you don't know, he suspects them of trying to usurp his throne. And he feels like they've got enough support among the Landsrod to actually do it. So he plots to have them killed, and he lists the Harkonnens to help him.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with Dune.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Now, I don't know about this story, but it seems to me that at some point in the past, between the Legends and the Dune series, the Corrinos had like a stranglehold on spice, maybe. And
this show is going to be their downfall of like how
because the Corrinos remain emperors for the next 10,000 years. We know that.
This is building towards. I think this is building with the fact that we had that really awesome scene revealing the one woman that was talking to the Atreides in the rebellion was actually a part of the Bene Gesserit. I'm like, these fuckers got their hands in everything, and I love it. And that whole sequence, and then so I think that's gonna be the whole series is how the Bene Gesserit are responsible for the fall of this house and kind of the beginning, maybe not the start, maybe I'm gonna say maybe the start because it's still 10,000 years before Paul, but I think this is going to be the beginning of the ascension back to the House of Atreides and all that stuff, and how the Bene Gesserit again, who are all, and I will say, I said it in the first episode. I'll say it again. I was very apprehensive because I didn't know anything about this world.
Mhm.
So I was a little apprehensive, like, why are we doing a Bene Gesserit series? This thing's gonna, and then doing this with you, and then seeing it now, I was like, it's so much more interesting because these fuckers got their hands in everything. They're so intriguing because not only are they these hyper evolved beings and can do all these things like with the agony and the truth saying and all that, but then they're also spies and assassins.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been fucking doing this for 10,000 years. Incredible.
Yeah, all leading to the Kwisatz Haderach.
To get us
perfect-
to Dune,
Right.
and Dune was the whole main Dune.
See, when this was announced and they talked about it, I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe this is like the beginning. They're gonna also explain how the the Spacing Guild starts and how like the Mentats. We haven't seen one Mentat, which is interesting to me. We have seen a Sook Doctor. We do know from what I can see from this episode, we did see a Hayliner, so I'm assuming there's a Spacing Guild. We don't see them at all in the Dune movies, and that's fine. We do in the David Lynch one, which I thought was a bold move because it's a terrible puppet.
Yeah.
But hey, bold move.
Hey, you took a chance.
It's clear in the books that these are these are that's where the science fiction comes in, is that these humans, they start off as humans, but due to how much spice they have to consume, it mutates them into. You've seen the David Lynch?
Yeah.
It mutates them into not real humans anymore. Like they're not able to survive outside of spice gas. Like that's what they breathe and live in. They have to. They would die without it,
Huh.
But because of that, they can make the calculations necessary so that, again, these Holtzman engines get them to where they need to go.
Their brains jacked into that.
No, as far as I know, at the end of the Legends trilogy, Varian Atreides takes Caladan. What did you say?
They're just on Adderall.
Maybe.
That's the whole. I think that's what he was going for with that metaphor. It was like they're just on stimulants. Because the spice is kind of like their evergreen drug for that series, right? Because it's equally a hallucinogen, but also equally a stimulant, but also equally able to
It extends your life.
Space travel. I don't know. But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, of course, the science fiction is that there's this one substance.
Dude, that's the
that
fucking...
does all this shit.
There's always some sort of magic fucking element or
course,
something, But I just find that funny that like spices...
But use
spice
of
is
spice
literally everything.
is what unlocked the Mentat School.
Sure.
It's what unlocked the Spacing Guild. What unlocked the Bene Gesserit. It's what unlocked all of these things.
It's the spice.
So what's his first name? The Atreides kid? Swordmaster.
Like Corin or something?
Okay. So again, as far as I know, Varian Atreides settles
Baron?
down on Caladan, and from then on, like that's where the Atreides are. I don't know.
Is he a bastard, maybe?
Don't know. I really don't know. I do know that the guy who plays Horus was in the most recent episode or series season of Fargo. And he was kick-ass. He was really, really good. He was just a strange dude. And it's cool to see when you see character actors that really excel out of nowhere on another thing, and then you see them in another thing that you like, you're like, cool, you're getting work, man. Because he's good. I really liked him. The guy who plays Horus, the main guy, the main rebel.
Yeah. I like that scene a lot, too. Like, because, I like the developing more with the Atreides. It is interesting that him and the princess she's pissed because the God, what is her name? The one that died in the first episode. Kasha. She's pissed she's dead, and she's like, I don't want to talk anymore. I want action. Like she's like, I want to get out of here. I want to join the Bene Gesserit. I want to continue my training. And they have a moment where they do a little sword fight. And then they kiss, and you're like, oh, they might have sex again. She's like, no, that was because my leaving was one thing.
She puts a knife to his gut.
She says my leaving was one thing, and he's like, that's best for both of us. She doesn't quite understand it, but we, the viewer, know. He's being like, well, I am leading a fucking rebellion against your family, so it's probably good we don't fuck anymore.
But hey, I'm up for it.
I mean, it's probably we should end this whole Romeo Juliet shit. But
hey, listen, if you ever want to fuck again, just let me know.
Hey.
I'm always up for it.
Yeah.
Listen, every guy says that.
The door's always open.
Yeah. Listen, I totally get you, and I'm out of here, right?
You
I'm
don't
going to start living my life. But you know what?
Have you ever changed your mind?
I'll tell you what, though. More often than not, if you're bored and you're like, I want to fuck.
That's what that Atreides guy basically said. So, I thought that was interesting. Of what made me laugh, because we talked about the beginning of the sex scene, but it was such a good scene because.
And
It
she's
goes-
just fucking him to get info from
And
him,
she
and the dumb
keeps-
fuck gives it to
That's
him.
my favorite thing about this. Is it starts out as like, all right, we're going for a while on the sex scene. It ends, and you think normally that's where the sex scene would end and it would move on. But then it becomes an actually important scene. It becomes an exposition, which I will say, it does what I always ask, because I feel like sex scenes are gratuitous unless they actually have a narrative purpose. This one actually served it because it gave the whole. She gets all that information because he couldn't shut. Well, they were high on spice and fucking, so he ain't gonna. Of course he's gonna give shit away.
Mm-hmm.
So then her father uses that later in negotiations where they're like, I know you have the guy that killed my son. Fucking give him to me and let me execute. Like, I want the guy.
Yep.
And he's saying, I don't have anybody in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, Vala's there. And she's seeing. And she's like, this motherfucker's lying. This emperor. Valia. Whatever. Fine. Fucking Mother Superior's there.
Yeah, why the fuck didn't you just say that? What she says is he doesn't think
yeah.
he's lying, but what he's saying is bullshit. Is what she says.
Well,
according to him, he's not lying, but what he's saying
no,
is
I'm
bullshit.
talking about where she knows he's lying that he has a prisoner.
Oh yeah,
Because
I think you're talking about when she
Damon is like,
interrogates
as
him.
far as he knows,
Desmond.
as far as he understands, he's telling the truth. Yes, he's not lying to me. I don't know what he's keeping from me, but he's technically not lying. And I like, because did you watch the after the episode stuff? I love that they say that Damon is just being honest. Like, he's not, he's completely just using honesty as a way to say, like, I don't know how else I can tell you guys this. I am a soldier. Let me serve this house, and I will fucking kill these people. And it's like, and again, they're bad people. I shouldn't be rooting for it. But again, everybody is so good in this scene, especially Mark Strong. He's great. Again, the dude who plays Damon.
Desmond.
Fuck my life. Heart guy. I always Dune. It's always fucking Dune. I never get the names.
It's okay. I love you. I'm not trying to.
No, yeah, you are, you piece of. Don't you fuck up. Don't you fuck with my dude. Don't you fuck with my dude.
Anyway, with my man, my guy,
You don't fuck with my franchise. All right.
my franchise.
You fucker. Anyway, so that moment, but I love that scene when he burns him to show like his power. I still have no fucking idea what his power is. Obviously has something to do with sandworms, because any sort of powers in this universe has to deal with goddamn Shia. That fucking worm fuck. God, man, you know what? Just like the Penguin does for the Batman, I want to go back and watch those fucking Villeneuve movies because they're so goddamn good. Those Dune movies. Ugh. You know what? I should convince Ashley to watch them. She hasn't seen them yet. Ashley hasn't watched them.
Did you hear that? Did we do the news that they had stepped up filming?
I heard also that Josh, I don't know if he was joking or not, but Josh Brolin said he was supposed to get the script for Messiah like weeks ago and he hasn't received it yet. I'm like, I hope you're joking. Because Gurney is in Messiah, is he not?
Yeah, Gurney still plays a big role, and so does Duncan, Idaho.
Oh, yeah, because that's when they do the whole he starts
Gola.
be the Gola thing.
I'm pretty sure it's in Messiah.
It starts the Messiah, and it kind of
'Cause then
keeps
Children of
because
Dune
it keeps
and then
going
God
throughout
Emperor,
the
yeah.
rest of the series.
Oh yeah, no. By the time of God
It's
Emperor
been
of Dune,
thousands of times that he's died
been,
and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what. Hopefully he's joking. I don't know, but I haven't seen anything that it's started yet. I've heard rumblings that it's about to start, or I think that because it should be close. I don't know when, because he said he was going to take a break after.
Yeah, but he didn't.
What?
No, he said when
Time between
when he
part
came
two?
back out. No, when he came back out, he was like, "Hey, I knew I know I said that I was. This is what I remember is that he was like, I know I said I was going to take a break, and I have, but to be really honest, I love this sandbox so much that I'm going to play with it some more. And so I think he said that he was like, I'm going to do this sooner than later because I want to. And I think, isn't Messiah going to be the last of a trilogy?
Yeah, I think he said something about he was going to be done after
I don't
Messiah.
know if you can do Messiah in one book or
Yeah,
one
you
movie.
could. Messiah, based on what I've seen in like book size, Messiah is a lot shorter than the first Dune
Still
book.
a lot going on.
Yeah, but it was
I'm excited to see
but
whatever that.
But didn't he? That wasn't. Wasn't there something about that story not even really being like Messiah is shorter because he tried to get it out faster because he's like people need to understand that Paul is not the good guy or something like.
I can't. Yeah, I think so. Because they were.
'Cause he was getting frustrated because he didn't think people were understanding the point.
No, yeah, Paul's not a good character. He's
That's what I was thinking. That's what that reminded me of. That scene of Desmond burning that guy reminded me of Paul's speech in part 2. When you see that uprising and you have that moment of like, yeah, fuck, yeah, Paul. But then you're like, oh, shit. Because then you remember what he causes. And then it's like, oh, shit. You're like, that's what I mean. It's like, yeah, I get him. And then you're like, wait a minute. This isn't good.
Paul at some point realizes, and I don't know how well it's explained in the movies, but at some point he realizes he's trying to prevent the Golden Path.
Yeah.
Because he knows that that's going to result in a galaxy-wide jihad that's going to kill billions under his flag.
But Leto, too, does take the Golden Path.
Well, Leto helps. Messiah is the story of how Paul tries to retract.
Yeah, he tries to put the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah,
Of
as
that
best
first
as
story,
he can,
and
because he understands as soon as it starts going that maybe whether or not it was the right answer, it cannot be the answer forever. Like his heart's breaking,
and then he's blinded, and he's
what? Hey, you let them watch the movie or read the book, man.
He's in the desert. He's lost in the desert on a horse with no name.
And I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It feels good to get out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name.
Arrakis.
Dune. The Proposal. Remember? The Proposal.
Dune Part 2.
Is that all you fucking think I do?
Bitch, you think that's what I do? Yeah, I did. There was a
Fun fucking fact,
There's
real
so many
quick,
jokes you
about
miss.
that movie is the fact that where they're sitting behind the car, right behind them, next to Liefeld's feet, is a fucking pharmacy. A pharmacy.
Yeah.
And he's talking about the fucking donut cart.
Yeah.
They're basically traveling hospitals.
There's a pharmacy right there. Yeah, I know.
I didn't notice it until I took a picture of it.
Because there's so many jokes you miss in the theater because everybody's laughing. I told you about this. When they're driving to the big fight to get out of the void with Gambit and Blade and Elektra and all that, there was a joke I told you about where he just fucks up and then they just pan up and then that's just it. And I was like, either he really fucked up or that was just a funny ad lib. Because Gambit is trying to explain the plan.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
And he mumbles it up.
And that's
and
what
then
he says.
What Gambit is trying to say is, and then he tries to explain it, and then he fucks up, and then he goes, oh shit, just pan up. Fucking Blade's got a thing. And then it just like pans up to Wesley Snipes. I was like, I did not catch that in the theater. I did not hear that. But I just started laughing. I'm like, that's such a silly like fourth wall break that made me laugh.
Yeah, great. Still a great movie.
Love Deadpool and Wolverine. By the way, we enjoyed Dune Prophecy. I don't know if we made that clear.
No, I'm a huge fan of it because I don't know. There's a lot that I might not be understanding. As well versed as I am in the Dune universe, I think this is a little bit of a blind spot for me.
I have no fucking idea.
I do know that there's for a time that the Harkonnens at this point I think are still trying to get back into polite society and stuff with the Landsrad. but they're just shunned because according to Varian Atreides, he's the one who basically says that this guy is a traitor because he shuts these guns down and stuff. It's a whole thing. You have to read the books.
Well,
yeah.
I did have one piece of news before we get out of here that I wanted to talk about. And I thought it'd be interesting. Because last week, we talked about James Gunn kind of clearing up.
Did we talk about the cereal?
Yeah. Way too long. We talked about cereal.
Oh, yeah, because we got so much other shit to talk about.
Where have you been? Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys some more. Because we're getting closer and closer to Creature Commandos.
Closer.
We're getting closer and closer to finally seeing the beginning
Oh, my God.
of the DCU.
Yes.
So I want to give you some updates. Somebody was asking James Gunn about the release schedule of the shows and the movies of like, is it going to be like Marvel and that kind that level of production? James Gunn said no. Here's what he said. Quote, "It won't be exactly like Marvel because nothing is greenlit before we have a finished script." End quote.
Perfect. Good on you,
Like,
James.
Marvel Studios Blade, good example. Remember
Well,
do you remember back when they, like, before Civil War and all that, they had, at one point, it was Captain America Serpent Society. Like, they were going to do a Serpent Society movie, and they're like, no, fuck that. We're going to do Winter Soldier Civil War. Like, that was crazy.
Oh, dude, there have been multiple times when they've done, like, Hall H, and they bust out this fucking timeline, and it's like, Inhumans. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
That was supposed to be a big show for
Oh,
ABC.
yeah. No, first it was a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you and I have been talking about that for years now. How irritating that is. Stop doing that. Stop. Like,
yeah, it reminds me. Yeah, it's like
Agatha's song blew up because of that show, right?
Yeah.
Because of WandaVision, so that it became like top #1 Apple Music or whatever for like 3 or 4 weeks, right? So what does fucking Marvel do because this world is fucked because of social media and shit? They go, let's greenlight a goddamn Agatha show.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Luckily, it was actually good.
Right. Fair. But the reasoning behind it was like, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep going like, yes, we're going to greenlight a show about this because it's so popular right now.
Yeah.
Dude, by the time you get the fucking show out, do you have a script? Do you have a story to tell? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's
so many times they did
but
this.
you have to also understand the whole fucking studio was built on that, dude. The first Iron Man, they just threw in that Sam Jackson thing. They signed him to 9 movies that they hadn't even announced
For
yet.
sure.
Sam Jackson.
For sure,
So
that's how it started.
It's
but
always been fucking bubblegum and duct tape.
I totally get that, but I really just hate it when Feige comes out and he
Yes,
says, we
I
have
agree.
a plan.
I agree.
And you keep having these rollouts that keep getting fucking
And
changed.
these
I would
these
love-
fucking hard resets.
I
and-
hope somebody has, like, every time they've done a timeline in Hall H, so I can look at every one of them. Because there's got to be some boners in there.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a power pack at some fucking point? Wasn't there?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there was at some point.
No, Power Pack has been brought up recently
Okay.
because of Brave New World,
Hmm.
but no, I didn't remember seeing it.
Why? Because of Brave New World.
Because of because Giancarlo
Giancarlo.
because of his character. He's from the Power Pack.
Power pack are for kids.
Oh fuck! No, I'm
six
thinking
pack.
of I'm thinking of 6-pack. That's a fucking that's a clip. Jesus,
I'm pretty sure Power Pack was in one of those fucking
Dude, you don't think
timelines.
fucking he could play a kid? He's that good of an actor. He can fucking play a kid.
My name is Giancarlo Esposito. What a fucking name.
I would like
dude.
to play.
What a great
I would
name.
like to play dodgeball, please. Like it's very deep and gravelly voice. Tag you're it. See, I can't, dude.
Listen.
I can't. I don't have enough.
Yeah, you don't have the
flavor to it,
gravitas,
you know?
dude.
Well, it just sounds too generic. You know, it could be anybody's voice. There's not enough personality to it. You know. So anyway, one more note on this. So we do have kind of a more definitive look of release
But he
schedules.
still did a timeline anyway.
No, what he's saying is we are not doing anything that
I get it. Stop-
everything that they have
stop
announced
being
is
so
what they're working
literal.
on. You
Why don't
fucker.
you take it out of your butt?
Look at my finger. I'm
Wow.
flipping you off.
The
So,
stick.
Release update for
Okay.
you. Creature Commandos, the first 2 episodes. I thought it was going to be 1. We're getting 2.
Didn't they do that with the penguin?
No, they didn't.
You
Because
sure?
because here's the difference. That's an HBO original versus a Max original.
They just said the first episode that first night?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then they made it Sunday night. So my guess,
Yeah, like 12
so
days
my
later.
my guess is this is going to be a Thursday night show. They're just going to have it come out on Thursdays. But
Oh,
anyway,
good.
my hope. I could be wrong. I don't.
Then we
fucking-
could do like
I
Saturday
don't
or
know.
Sunday.
I've been well documented how much I think David Zaslav is a dumb fuck. So
David
so-
Zaslav is a dumb fuck. Fuck you, David Zaslav. Sorry. I know.
I got a kid,
I
man.
know.
Fuck
I'm
it.
sorry. Sorry.
Creature Commandos, 2 episodes, December 5th.
Yeah.
We're going to have to fucking figure out our schedules again for goddamn.
We're going to probably do Saturday, Sunday.
Well, what?
Because we'll have to. What other show are we doing? Sunday?
Dune is Sunday.
Okay, well then we'll probably have to do Monday then.
Or Monday would not really change that bad. See, this is an example of 2 shows running at the same time that doesn't fuck everything up because, one's a Thursday, one's
It
a
kind of does. I don't want to wait till Monday to do the Thursday show, but we have to wait
my
till.
butthole.
Wow. Why do you think
Alex.
I'm blaming you?
So yeah, anyway, first 2
Wh-
episodes.
Why do you think I'm blaming you? I was blaming. Go ahead.
I did get super defensive like it was my decision.
Fuck you.
Listen, I fucking told him Thursday was a good idea.
I didn't know you didn't like that.
Following that in the DCU timeline is Superman, which is coming out July 11th, 2025.
Super excited. I'm very excited.
Super excited. You funny. Peacemaker just wrapped filming.
The only thing that can tamp down my excitement for Superman is kryptonite.
You proud of yourself? You proud of yourself for that? That's your legacy.
That's what they're gonna fucking remember you for. You suck.
Peacemaker season 2, August 2025. So right after Superman.
Excited.
Superman.
I'm peacefully excited.
You peacefully shut the fuck up. And then finally, we get a clarification on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, June 26th, 2026. So that's what we know so far, release date-wise. Still no update on when Swamp Thing is coming out, when The Brave and the Bold is coming out. There's a couple
What's
other
Brave and the
ones.
Bold again?
The Batman and Robin movie that they're doing.
Batman and Robin?
Yeah. What? You don't like
Brave and the
Batman?
Bold is usually Batman and somebody else.
Yeah, well, they just like the fucking name, okay, man?
Yeah.
What would you rather it be called? Cape Crusaders? Or some shit
Not
like
Brave
that?
and the Bold.
Man, I'm so mad at you. Oh, speaking of Batman, I'm not really that bad. Speaking of Batman, there's another Batman book. There's 2 Batman books I really want to read. Batman Offworld, which we talked about for fucking ages.
We might as well wait now.
I'm
for
getting
the-
that as a trade. What are you talking about? Fuck.
By the way, I brought the other 2 volumes of.
We only find them when they're done.
Yeah.
Oh, so I can finally finish it, read the whole thing.
It's a quick read.
God
15
damn it, dude,
issues.
you son of a bitch. I was trying to get to a point.
I'm sorry. You.
So Batman Offworld.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I'm just going to get that as a trade. I'm also going to try and get Kid Cudi's book as a trade because they
Yeah, dude.
they just released
What's
that
it called?
Moon Man.
Why did?
I'll talk about it. Well, they just like,
How do we?
I could
How
pre-order.
did we not
Stop
know?
it! I'm going to pre-order the trade. Because I think it goes on pre-order.
I just
this
feel like
week.
it's something we should have been on top of. Kid Cudi. making a
Regardless,
comic
I'm just
book.
gonna buy the $10.
We love Kid
trade.
Cudi.
Image.
We love.
Can I finish the goddamn thought?
No.
Jeez.
Yes. No.
You see that detour we've been on? Get back on the main road.
We're done smoking the joint. Get back on the main
I just
road.
found this one. It's a Black Label book,
What?
DC Black Label, but it's Batman Full Moon.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, you fuckers.
Is it a werewolf one?
Yes, those bastards. It's like
you
they,
can have that one.
No, it's like they. Oh, I'll buy that shit.
I don't want to review
As
it
soon
for
as
the
that
show.
thing is a trade, I'll buy the goddamn hardcover. But here's the thing: those bastards, those rat bastards at DC, they knew how to market because they're like, hey, what are 2 things that Jake loves? Werewolves and Batman, and let's make a gosh darn book about it. Batman Full
Fucking
Moon.
boring, dude.
Oh, cray.
Hey, I read the Cap Wolf storyline. You've heard of that?
Yeah,
Where-
but this is like made as a horror book.
Yeah.
It's not made as like a fucking Captain Werewolf, werewolf but not. Fuck you.
Oh, you think Batman's gonna be a werewolf, but not? You don't think?
Oh, is he gonna
Instincts taking over.
Oh, here we go.
Broken word thought bubbles.
Tyler is
Werewolf Batman.
In today's improvised theater, Tyler Allen will be trying to be Batman as a werewolf.
Just as we expected. It's fucking terrible.
Hey, Alfred, I'm a werewolf.
Look, can't think. Instincts taking over. It'll be like broken word thought bubbles and shit. The whole fucking thing.
Oh, dude, I've already seen a variant cover with Batman as like a werewolf.
So what are you trying to tell me? Is it Batman fighting werewolves?
I don't know.
What
I'd
the-
love to read it and find out.
Oh, fucking! You're welcome. I'm excited for the Zatanna to come out as a trade because I
Yeah.
fucking completely forgot about that.
You know what?
one.
We're fucking.
I never got
You know
set
what?
number 2.
We're wheeling and dealing. We're just
Wheeling and dealing.
I forgot to mention. I mentioned on the show, but I finally got the box set for those Hill House comic books.
Oh yeah, I've seen them.
I read that could be my long box.
No.
I recently I read Basketball Heads. We talked about that on the show.
Yeah.
I recently read Plunge, which was Joe Hill doing like Lovecraft meets The Thing, and I fucking ate that book up. I absolutely loved it because what? Oh, you know what? Yeah, when I read this,
using it at all.
when I read this book, I was enthralled. So I was like, "Give me that book, because I will." Son of a bitch! Got another ad.
I'll eat your ass.
It's so much
No,
like me. That's how I read.
I-
Son of a bitch.
So it's
And
such
then
an
you're fine.
interesting. I love this collection. I love this little box set. It's a great looking thing, and again, I think what's so enticing to me is I got it for the Joe Hill books, and I'm gonna read the other books, and I'm sure I'm gonna like the other books.
They'll look cool.
But it's what makes me laugh about you and I, and this
University of Northern Iowa.
What I love about our dynamic about this show is because you're always like, I only want to read cape shit. I only want to read superhero shit. And then because you didn't like Chew. You didn't cry reading God Country because you have no soul. And then, just kidding. No, you're like, oh, I didn't like God Country as much as Jake did.
I don't think a comic book's ever made me cry.
Well, then how? Have you not cried reading a comic book?
I don't think so.
Anyway, no, I'm just joking because anytime we take a step outside of superhero comics, you're not as into it as I am. So, of course, I'm the one that buys the horror books. I already like horror, and
I'm
you're
just
really not
sitting
into
here-
it.
Well, I like Saga's my favorite comic book.
And Saga's
And
not
that's
a
not
superhero book.
that's not a
Fair
cape
enough,
book. It's
fair
also
enough.
not a Marvel or a DC.
True.
Case in point, because we're kind of giving a little bit of status update.
I mean, we're just kind of fucking around.
I am hoping tomorrow to be able to get, and tomorrow, as we're recording this, will be Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Obviously Thursday the comic book shops won't be open. I'm hoping tomorrow to get, hopefully, the reprint of Absolute Wonder Woman #1 and #2, and then I think next week is Absolute Superman #2.
So I want to give a special shout out to the YouTube channel Comic Bop, because they did a couple weeks ago. They did a DC All In special, kind of explaining what this is.
Oh yeah.
I think I was you and I are under the wrong interpretation. I don't think it's trying to connect the Elseworld shit.
No, I didn't say that. What I said
This
was
is a universe that's created by Darkseid, not Superman, right? So that's why all this shit is different.
What I understood is that the in one of the universe Darkseid found the anti-life equation and became a god, and and that version of Darkseid fused with the Elseworlds galaxy or the energy of that galaxy or something.
It was literally called Elseworld, I think.
Yes. I didn't say they were trying to connect the Elseworlds.
I thought that's
you
what
and
you-
I
That's what
speculated
we thought it was
that.
going to be. So they
I
get,
will say that I speculated that, but the more I've thought about it, and the more and now that you brought it up, I've kind of always thought of it as this is one timeline / part of the multiverse. It's
absolute-
not all of these different ones.
Yeah, so the absolute universe is essentially the universe of what if Darkseid created a universe.
You want to right?
That's what the absolute universe is.
Yes, and the way that I would kind of describe it to anybody who's like kind of on the fence, the Ultimate Universe, a little bit.
I've actually heard really good things about the new Ultimate Universe. About
I'm saying like
Spider-Man.
the Ultimate Universe, good and bad, is a different interpretation of the Marvel Universe. Right?
That's what the absolute universe is.
I think we can say that that's probably the best. And I did not read any of the Ultimate shit because I don't care.
Well, and you know what the great thing is though? Like you don't need to read all in to understand the absolute Batman, and that was the point. The whole idea was you like at some point. Ultimate are all these absolute characters are gonna cross paths because it's comic books and they're gonna fucking cross paths. Is what happens.
So all three of these.
But right now, the most enticing thing to them and their whole point of their initiative to get people to read these books is to be like, jump in wherever you want. It's the absolute Batman, and we're doing things a little bit different. We're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing that. And I think that is very interesting. But then again, I brought it up every time we've reviewed Absolute Batman. It's like I look at this is nothing new. DC does this shit all the time. I mean, fuck me. There's Earth 1. All those Earth 1 books.
52. The fucking when they redid after Crisis way back in the day.
And you know what? And I will give you this, and you and I this. We're very consistent. I love that Absolute Batman is taking this character in different directions and doing different things with it. I wasn't as like I said in the last week's episode, Absolute Superman wasn't quite there for me yet. I'm willing to read another issue because I love Jason Aaron.
Me too.
And I'm willing to give him a shot and keep reading it. But Kelly Thompson was Wonder Woman, and what like Wonder Woman running hell, like fucking. I just want to read that fucking book.
I can't wait. I'm still waiting for the reprint of #1 to come out. I don't want to get #2. I think that's out tomorrow.
Oh, speaking of, we're kind of just all over.
We
we're
do
just
have
kind of talking
computers in
about
our hands. I could just look it up. Jesus Christ.
This is what I told you about last week. This is what I want to get
I
back.
don't feel like it.
What I want to get back to with the show is talking comics. But I was reading that the Ultimate Universe is now in their fate. This is year 1. Yeah, we've been about a year into this new Ultimate Universe, and this is like their phase 2 shit, is what they're, And apparently their approach is they're going to make Wolverine the Winter Soldier. That's interesting.
Sure.
Is he going to be brainwashed like Bucky?
I don't know.
I'm wondering what they're. But I will say this, because I'm a sucker for this shit. That Winter Soldier Wolverine costume actually looks pretty fucking rad.
I haven't seen it.
It's red and black, but
I
his
used to
mask
read-
covers his face.
I used to read CBR.com, and there was one other website.
There's comicbook.com, and then
there's a bunch of them, but there was a couple of them that I read
Bloody Cool
a lot, and I would get the news and everything, and it spurred me to go to the comic book store, every Wednesday, and like, ooh, I want to read that, or I want to read this, or whatever.
Oh, I'm not going to read that book.
My point of it is that every time I go into a comic book store now, it's not always for comics. The two that I go to, there's Jay's and Mayhem.
Yeah, there's really only 2. Right, yeah.
Well, Jay's, they have both of them have buttloads of stuff other than comics. In fact, comic books is kind of a small part of what they do. So
Yeah, because merchandising and games.
When
and
I
stuff,
go
yeah.
in
Board
to
games.
one of them, it's because the other one is because, for whatever reason, I either this one doesn't have it or that one doesn't have it or
Yeah.
they do or whatever. The point is that I'll look around and see both places have like, this is our new this week, and then this is all the stuff that's out, whatever. They have different sides of the rack and whatever. And they have the Marvel and they have DC, all that. And I look at all the new stuff that's out and I'm like, I can't help it. I'm like, is there anything number one that interests me whatsoever? Nope. And I don't care what's going on in the X universe right now. I went through the whole Sins of
Hoxpox
Sinister
and-
shit, which
Yeah.
is still to me one of the best fucking crossover series ever. Like, it's so well written.
We'll do
but
it someday.
we will. But you know what I mean? Like, there's so many. There's like 3 Avengers books now, and I'm like, eh. And the JSA number 1, the Absolute or the All In, whatever came out, and I'm like, eh. It's just
Isn't that John's book? It's, Jeff John's book? Or no, he's doing JSA, I think. I don't know.
I thought it was JSA is what I said.
Oh, I thought you said JLA.
Justice Society.
Oh, you said JSA? JLA? JSA?
JSA?
What?
There's a bunch of Venom stuff out.
I have not touched Al Ewing's Venom.
I don't want
I
to
don't
start because I can't afford to buy a fucking $5 book.
Well,
every 4
I want
weeks.
to. Well, I'm sure it's on Comixology, but I was gonna check it
that
out on
shit.
Comixology.
I like to have the book.
Yeah,
Sir.
well, if you have Comixology Unlimited, you could just.
Why don't
it's
you
like
just
a
try and get a
library.
promotion from them already?
I know, right?
Have you?
I've
reached
been a
out to them?
loyal customer
We
for
should do this
years.
off here, after.
For years. Amazon, you bastards. Ask for sponsorship after I call them bastards.
Yeah, you fucks. Pay us money.
Yeah, dicks.
Yeah, you fucking dicks. So, I think that's all we got this week, right?
No. We've got so much more.
We've got so much more for you in store, and it's gonna come right out of you.
Your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Oh yeah.
You gotta pick one item. You gotta get every year. And don't say fucking pie, you lame ass. Everybody says pie. Or turkey. Everybody gets fucking turkey and pie. I'm talking about
black olives.
black olives, you weirdo. Why?
Yeah, black olives, so you can put them on your fingers. Be like a creature. Little eyeballs on your fingers.
You disgust me.
Are you fucking kidding me? You've never done that?
I hate olives.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't know about you, but if I don't like a food item, I don't want it in my presence. I don't want to be around mushrooms. I want to be around olives.
What
Get
about
'em away
magic
from me.
mushrooms?
Well,
What if
those
they
are
were
different.
What if they were magic olives?
Those are fun.
Did you know that black olives, after you put them on your fingers, become magic olives? True story.
Okay. I didn't even get to give my fucking Thanksgiving thing.
What is it? Turkey.
I don't want to say stuffing, because I do love stuffing.
Stuffing is a bunch of tossed off breadcrumbs, and then it's like, like it's not. If you break down stuffing, it's like, why the fuck am I eating it? But it's so fucking
It shouldn't be
good.
as good as it is.
If you have good stuff, here's what
I would
here's
say stuffing is like my
stuffing
go-to.
can be shitty if it's not prepared right.
It could just be mush if it's overcooked.
If you've ever had like stuffing where like some of it's mushy and some of it's like hard because it's like overcooked, because they probably put it in a pan, they didn't prepare it right. Because hey, you know what? If you're making a Thanksgiving dinner for like 20 people, all right, I'd save time myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? I'm not complaining. I'm saying that's why I think things maybe weren't.
Did you ever have Did your family ever have macaroni?
I think macaroni and cheese has been a part of
Mac and cheese
Thanksgiving before.
It's always been a staple.
Not me. My stuff I got.
But see, that's the thing. I eat macaroni and cheese all time, any time of the year. I
If
don't
I'm
eat
at-
stuffing outside of Thanksgiving. When am I
Me
going to
neither.
eat
Me
stuffing
neither.
outside of Thanksgiving?
Me fucking neither. And macaroni and cheese. Yeah, you're right. If somebody offered me macaroni and cheese, I was at a Thanksgiving dinner. I wouldn't be like,
Yeah, you're gonna not.
No,
Macaroni and cheese is delicious. Come on.
I would. Now here's one thing. I wouldn't put gravy on it.
Mac and cheese. Why not?
I put gravy on everything else because it's cheesy. I don't need gravy on it. It's nice and cheesy.
But it is mac and cheese.
I
Not
like to
mac
have
and gravy.
I like to have turkey, corn,
What?
mashed
Oh,
potatoes.
shit.
Yeah. All right, you ready? Okay.
If we're gonna do it, we're gonna
Woo! I'm gonna get some. Yeah, where is it? You find it?
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna pause it. All right, continue. Now that we got the proper.
So yeah, so I gotta have, of course, turkey.
What?
And then you gotta have mashed potatoes,
What?
and gravy,
What?
and corn,
What?
and stuffing,
What?
preferably stovetop.
What?
And then you gotta have black olives,
What?
and then maybe some sparkling cider.
Will you fucking turn off?
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.